everyone, it's Meg with Seed Pork, and it is the 1st of July. Just stopped raining. We've gotten over an inch of rain in the last 24 hours, and it's time for me to show you what is growing in the garden. So I am going to spin the camera around for a while and give you a tour of where we're at in the growing season. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Tomatoes and asparagus. One thing that I wanted to note about the asparagus is, you remember last month we were still harvesting. This is it. It's over 8 feet tall in some spots. And the really cool thing about asparagus that I really didn't know until we grew it ourselves, we're growing a male dominant variety, but it flowers. It's a dioecious plant, so there's male and female plants. And the bees love this nectar. So this is a great added nectar source for our pollinators that I really didn't think about as a gardener until I experienced it. Pretty cool. Our tomatoes are continuing to do really well. I'm continuing to pull off suckers on a dry, breezy day about once a week. Loads and loads of fruit set. This is my Castellotto Genovese. More Castellotto Genovese. I will spin the camera around and give you a tour of where they're at. We've got Sungolds and Juliets and Sweet Millions. The Sweet Millions are just starting to turn. We've got some ripe Sungolds, and the Juliets look like they're just going to be a few days. So slowly, this is much later than I like to have for ripe tomatoes for us, but yeah, it was a really cold June, so a few ripe tomatoes is as good as we can do in our conditions. So I'm grateful for what we have. This is our earliest bed that I was really excited about at the beginning of June. I had broccoli here with some lettuce interplanted. These were interplanted with lettuce too, and we're showing you these. These are still in the ground. Those cabbages need to come out this week. And I've moved on to carrots here. And this was a method of germinating that was suggested to me from a follower. I don't remember who, so if it was you, please let me know so I can give you credit. But they suggested that farmers use burlap to help germinate carrots, and I really kind of like it. It retains more moisture, and we're getting germination is just easier. Carrots can be kind of hard to germinate in the heat of summer, but it is working really well. And we've had tons of rain in the last day, and I can see all 3 of those rows right there germinated well. These Savoys definitely need to come out. Not really been happy with these red cabbage. They're beautiful when they're small, but they just don't get big enough for me. So I think I'm going to stop growing this variety. I talked about the burlap. Let's see if I can show you. I bet you can see. And there's the carrot germination. 3 rows of carrots. We're going to have to majorly thin those out. This is our strawberry patch. It goes all the way down. Really, main production stops about right there. Let's see if I can show you. Tons and tons of strawberries still. We didn't pick yesterday because it was raining so much. We'll pick some today though. Finally, We have some color. Got color on our sun golds. And then our Juliets are starting to show some signs of life there, which is great. We've got beets, lots of beets I need to harvest. I'll be harvesting these hopefully this morning yet. Potatoes badly need hilling. I need the soil to dry out a little bit though. Some of them are flowering. These are our peppers. The garden looks so alive from this angle. Because it is. This is our lowest bed on our west side. Tomatillos. We've got some summer squash, cucumbers. This was the last bed I planted. Got a cover crop about halfway back there of buckwheat. So we'll put our fall brassicas. Got some shelling beans, some more summer brassicas, the red cabbage I love to grow, and savoy, and some kale. And I've got some winter squash at the end of this bed. Fall Brussels sprouts in the next bed back. Pickling cucumbers, more potatoes. Those are our Yukon Golds. More brassicas. We do. We grow a lot of cabbage. We make a lot of sauerkraut. We love cabbage, so might as well make use of our garden. This is some popcorn. And yet to successfully pop popcorn that I've grown, but I'm going to keep trying. Onions. They do flop over. I think onions are one of the unsung heroes of the garden. I love our onions. They're so simple and beautiful. We really need to use some fennel up here this week. This broccoli just came out of nowhere. I mean, it barely had a head. I've got to harvest that today. There's another one. I don't know what this one looks like. Let's find out. This one is a little too far gone, but we'll harvest it this morning. These are our pickling cucumbers, and they are just taking off. Doing really well. I'm gonna always trying to train those up. They look really nice. Lots of open flowers. Probably my favorite thing. It's kind of a funny thing to say, but I do love my patio in the garden. I think it's a really important feature of a garden design. And I always make sure that I plant it with flowers so that when I'm sitting here, I've got the bees, pollinators, the butterflies visiting me, and the garden. This is just starting to flower here. Zinnia and larkspur.